Yeah, buddy. Wow. Welcome to it. Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the duct tape dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is week one of the off season. Is this week one of the off season? Is this week two of the off season? Week two of the off season. I think it is, because officially, I guess, yeah, this is week two of our off season. Whatever. It's the second show of the off season. It's somewhere around there. Whatever. It's the 2024 off season. Tonight is a cool show that I am way excited about. I am probably as excited about this one as I was about the uniform episode that we did, that I am now re-excited about, because we're going to do that one again, and I am very much so looking forward to that. But tonight's episode is the Mascotology. I think that's how you should say it. Mascotology, I don't know, whatever, is the Mascotology episode, and it's one that we've been talking about actually for quite a long time. We haven't mentioned in a while, but one that we've been talking about for a long time, that is finally here. And very much anticipated, very much excited for, and happy that it is today. But whatever, I'm blabbing about nothing. Hey, what's up, everybody? I see y'all in the comments. It's good to see everybody. Katie, Andrew's in the comments. We got Dave, we got the Walbert, we got everybody out there. What's going on? How are you? What up, mother duckers? There is Dave with of course, the obligatory, the what up, mother duckers. But anyway, for those who may be new, who might be watching this later on, some of the 170 subscribers, well, maybe you're not one of the 170 subscribers. Maybe you're about to be the 171st. And I would ask you, if you're not already a subscriber, then to do this, which is minimize that screen, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, all that good stuff. Hit all the appropriate whatnots and what have yous. Depending upon whether or not you're already a subscriber or not. Anyway, you get it. You know what I'm talking about. Do all the things, do all the whatnots, because the algorithm will thank you, and so will we. But yes, we are at 170 subscribers, and I keep saying we, but you only see me. So without further ado, as my headphones continue to wig out, we'll see what happens with the show. It is the co-host and the creator of what has been deemed Mascotology, of which I kind of gave myself a tongue twister there, but I like the name. I just can't figure out how to properly say it. It is the creator of Mascotology. What you get it. Andrew himself, how are you? The Ag Man.
I'm back.
Brother, how are you? It's been a little bit. How you been?
It has been a minute. I've been doing good. I know we've been talking recently, but as far as people watching the show, it has been a minute. But no, I'm doing good. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad we're back on the show. We got a little bit of later time of starting, so who knows? We could say some more out-of-pocket stuff than we normally do, but we'll have to see how the show goes. Dave's in the comments, so it might be that way.
Yeah, it's
Speaking
DTD.
Of which, before we get going,
it's officially DTD After Dark. I meant to make that graphic. I was going to have the neon DTD After Dark, but anyway, we got Dave in the comments. It's the same thing. DTD After Dark, true. Right there.
But speaking of Dave, we have to do one thing that is obligatory. We have to shout out to Dave. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday, Uncle Dave.
Officially the big 4-0. 4-0.
And that's not 4-0 as a record. That's 40, man.
we would play happy birthday for you, but we would definitely get copyrighted for it. So we've got enough stuff that we're already worried about getting copyrighted for. Don't want to give the guarantee by playing the happy birthday song. So you get the round of applause. Happy birthday, brother. 40 years young. And yes, I intentionally did not text you today because we knew we were shouting you out during the show. It's been planned. We definitely did not overlook that. There you go. Yeah. Was that awkward enough? Exactly. Sing it. 100%. I can't. We can't sing it. We'll get copyrighted.
Copyright.
For the love of Pete, you guys sing it in the comments. Anyway.
One word at a time.
Yeah. One letter at a time, please. Anyway, that might take a little bit, but it'll do good things for the algorithm, which we'll be happy about. So, anyway, geez, where were we? Yeah. So we had just begun, and you of course gave the shout out of all shout outs, the big 4-0, Dave, happy birthday. But now with that out of the way, how's the rest of whatever? What's going on? What's new?
Not a whole lot's new. I'm getting into the busy season, but that's kind of been the last couple months, and we've managed to make it work. But no, I think things are just plugging along. I had work today, but the students didn't have school today, so it was one of those in-service days. So I went and got some stuff done, not as much as I probably should have, but it was enough. But no, we're back, and we're talking about a thing that we have been talking and discussing for almost a year now. I think we're a couple months shy of a year because I think we really started kicking things off in the summer of 23, but we're here. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. Also, I forgot to do it earlier, and I know she's going to wave back, even though she's not on the show. Hi, Mom. She told me she does that, so
I love it. There's
we're here.
Walbert. Walbert is singing one stanza at a time. If that's a stanza, I don't know. Whatever you call it.
I'm not a music teacher, so I don't know.
Wally is singing in the comments, so there you go. It's happening, folks. It's happening. Anyway, so happy birthday, like we said, to Dave. You're hitting busy season, which, hey, you know what? Now's the time to have busy season because we are officially in the 2024 NFL off season. So now's the time to do all the things you got to do, get all that busy work out of the way so we can all kick back and enjoy, our what do we want to call it?
Our second official off season?
Yeah, but we oh gosh, now I lost track of what I was even trying to say. I don't know. Oh,
should we just move into NFL news while you're trying to find something to talk about?
New news. New news.
God, I love that show.
Yes, which actually we will get to kind of new news, that whole thing here in a little bit. But before we actually do get to new news, I do want to hit one thing, which is the official announcement, and thank you for the official 50,000 views.
Yeah!
50,000 views. That's
amazing.
That's a monstrosity. Like, I know you and I are probably half that, but
yeah, that's
still, that aside, call it 25,000 legitimate views. That's 25,000, dude. Like,
and 140 subscribers later after we talked and saying it's all downhill from here.
Oh my gosh, that's right. We're the best 30 subscriber show on the internet. That is our official claim to fame, and that was, we should look back and see. There's a lot of things we got to do about looking back and seeing. Maybe someday we'll have an official historian Yeah, right. But anyway, today is the day that we say thank you very much to those who have contributed along the way to getting us to 50,000 views. Some of which are those who are in the comments right here. Actually, a majority of which are those who are in the comments right here. So we thank you guys just as much as we thank each other for getting us to 50,000.
Exactly.
But no kidding. Like 50,000 views. That's, I mean, yes, we definitely have a solid portion of those that are ours. But 50,000, that's a chunk, dude. Like that's no small feat. That's no 250 views. That's 50,000. That's a hey, I'll take it.
How many of those 50,000, just to let our minds wander, which might derail the show, but yeah,
whatever.
How many of those could have been like either people that we want to like, that we aspire to, or the people that know the people, and it's like right there.
I know what you're saying. Like you're saying, what if among those 50,000, one of those is actually a Lamar look, you know? Actually, I haven't dug through. Although every time I see a new subscriber, I am stoked. I mean, I have from one subscriber to the 170th, I have been stoked for every single one. I still haven't figured out how to be able to look and see who they all are, because some of them are private. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
One or two could be, you know, who knows? Dave is,
God, can we put him in timeout again? You remember how to do that?
Let me take a little moment here.
What do you think he's talking about? It's pretty obvious. It's Dave.
Jesus. Oh boy, it's a Friday night and Dave is in the comments. If only there was a Gil or a bully to join him, Jesus. What would happen? The show would definitely be smoking. My headphones, which are already wigging out, would be wigging out even more. But anyway, whatever. Dave is by himself, so let him go. Let him go. He's not in timeout yet. Not in timeout yet.
Wally's trying to save it, so we appreciate the Wally trying to be family friendly. We appreciate that.
So with that said, 50,000 views, we do thank you sincerely, whoever, and for every single one of you who are the people who watch. We do appreciate it. It is kind of dumbfounding. I know there's probably a large majority of folks who go, haha, look at these clowns. They're laughing, or, they're making a big deal about hitting 50,000 views. We're at 50 million subscribers, ha 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 ha. Look at these clowns, laughing at us. But this is a big deal to us, like 50,000 views.
This is awesome.
This is beyond anything we thought we would do. So it is cool to think about. Like we were talking about before the show, I just enjoy producing this whole thing, like just putting it on. It's not about hearing what I have to say or hearing myself talk or whatever. Although I never seem to be short of words.
Me neither. What do you think I teach for a living?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it fits. No, it's about the production. I love putting all the graphics together and, pushing the buttons and all the screens and all that kind of stuff. That's what's fun for me. Anyway, so let's get into our official stuff. Speaking of news. Here's a little bit. And this first bit is, you and I talked before the show. This is our video portion of the show. So You ready for that? You and I have to
Yes,
do the
I'm
shut up
prepared
thing.
for that.
So with that said, we'll go to it in 3, 2, 1.
He wouldn't be afraid to show his feminine side, if he had one. His mother has a tattoo that reads, Son. At museums, he's allowed to touch the art. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Oh, Jason Kelsey is definitely, if not the most interesting man in the world. He is definitely one of the most interesting men in the world. And congratulations go out to him. Not that he would ever see anything that we put together, but definitely from our show, congratulations go out to him. That's much deserved because we are fans, and so we as fans congratulate a tremendous player, a Hall of Fame player, in my opinion. I know, you don't hear a lot of linemen or kickers or, these types of people going into the Hall of Fame. But if ever there was one to go into the Hall of Fame,
it's Jason Kelsey.
It would be Jason Kelsey. And on top of the fact that he had, now I speak of it in past tense because he did retire, is what we're talking about. He had a tremendous career, a Hall of Fame career. He's just getting started in his podcast career with the number one podcast in the nation. Right? It's right. Isn't it the number one podcast in the nation, at least sports wise?
It's up there, I think. I think it's number one, at least on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify or something. I'm a couple episodes behind, so I know they do the update thing regularly and I don't know it, but I'm a huge fan of this guy. He's just having fun. And that's what I think makes it even better is if you're just a guy having fun, it's just fun. It's enjoyable for everybody. And the fact that he's done this, he has a family, he's, I would say, a stable guy, is great. Even though he puts on a luchador mask he finds on the ground and just parties out with it. He's just having fun. And I love that. Like,
the guy is just, the thing that's amazing about him is he's that crazy guy who picks a luchador mask up off the ground and parties like it's 1999. He's that guy, but then he's also this guy that is a total girl dad. When you think of what is a girl dad, like does the princess thing and has tea time, and if they make a tutu in his size, I'm sure he would wear it for him, for his girls. He is like the ultimate girl dad, like legitimately. And anybody could put on a persona and put on a fake this and I get it. We only see what we see, but all indications appear that this dude is a pretty stand-up guy. And, his wife as well appears to be this tremendous woman that is, gosh.
They're just good people.
Yeah, they just seem like great people. And so congratulations go out to Jason Kelsey on a tremendous career, first and foremost, because that's what we do here. As we see with our little football helmet graphic down here and on all that stuff. We are primarily a football show. So yes, congratulations on his career. And he's going to go on and do a ton more cool stuff. Yeah.
Easily.
So what do you think in terms of Hall of Fame. How does that kind of work? Because I touched on it there, but I do have questions as well. And you are, I would say, probably smarter NFL wise than I am when it comes to things like Hall of Fame and, the official business of the NFL. So for a no kidding center, a lineman, Jason Kelce type, to be voted into the Hall of Fame, does a guy like him get in on a first ballot? Does he have to be looked at 5 times and passed over? Like, how does this work?
See, that's the weird thing. And I was thinking about it and looking at it is, I mean, he just retired, so kind of recency bias. Everyone's like 100%. Of course, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, blah, 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 blah. But then you look at some people that were just as enjoyable to watch, like on the defensive side. I'll pull kind of a hometown pick, obviously, or a homer pick with Jared Allen. He's been passed over several times and definitely has a Hall of Fame career as a defensive lineman and hasn't gotten in yet, which I think is highway robbery. But I think Jason Kelce has a better chance, maybe not the first year when he's eligible, which is 2029, I think, but maybe the second time, because just how the world of football is looked at now. Granted, there was linemen that were could have probably thrown him across the football field easily, that played back in the days that Wally knows and loves and all of that stuff. But the fact that he's coming at it from a media angle and stuff now, I think he has more going on his plate going into it. And I wouldn't be shocked if he's first ballot, but I also, realistically thinking about it, would not be shocked if it's like year 2 or 3 that happens, that he's eligible. Even though, I mean, he's definitely a Hall of Famer, no questions asked. The only thing is, how far out do you think it'll be? I think it's within 5 years if it's not right away. And there's some people that are right away no matter what. Like your Tom Brady is a guaranteed as soon as he's eligible, he's in, because no duh.
Yeah.
But like Jason Kelce, it's kind of odd just because he's good at it. He was one of the best at his position. Understandably, he has the broadcasting side of it with his podcast and stuff. So he has a couple different angles. Will that be enough? I don't know, to get him in right away.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I am not smart enough on this NFL thing. I'm a huge NFL fan, but I am definitely not as I've only been this immersed in it for a couple years, right? And it's in large part because of this show and the whole pick'em thing. Oh, and I'm getting
Bailey.
I got a Saint Bernard that busted in. Hey, B. Hi, girl. I don't know if anybody can see your face popping.
Bailey B.
Hi, B. What are you doing? Hi. Can you get in your chair? Hi. Yeah, I love you. Will you get in your chair? Oh, Mom's taking her. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know if she popped up on the screen. I'll have to. Sorry.
I think she did a little bit.
I hope she did. She's awesome. Bailey's the best. She's who doesn't love a giant Saint Bernard? She's the cutest. Like, she's 140 something pounds. She's ginormous.
But she doesn't realize she's 140 pounds.
Yeah, she is a Jason Kelce of a dog.
Hey, there you go.
So she's 140 pounds. She comes up from the water bowl and has the shoestrings, we wipe her off and all this stuff. She is the most disgusting animal ever. But she is so freaking cute. They say Jason Kelce's the sexiest man alive. Well, she's all big and burly and all that stuff, but she's the cutest freaking giant dog there is. So, wow, that got weird. Anyway, sorry, folks. This is DTD After Dark after all. So anyway, congrats to Jason Kelsey on his career. And let's move on to item number 2 on our, so what's going on here, by the way, as if you haven't figured out, you know, I said this is Mascotology and we're going to talk about mascots and all this stuff. And then I go into this tirade about Jason Kelsey, and we have Jason Kelsey, you know, I love Jason Kelsey time. No, what we're doing is
we will get there.
Our roadmap is we're gonna hit a couple news items here. I originally meant to have actually a little ticker tape, and that would have been good to have had out front that said, hey, we're gonna hit these items, and that would have said, hey, we're gonna talk about Jason Kelsey, and then we're gonna talk about Russ Wilson, and then we're gonna talk about, let's see, what's that other thing? We're gonna talk about the NFL Combine, a little NFL Combine news, and then yes, Mascotology. Help me out, dude. How should I say that?
I think that.
Mascotology.
I think we're kind of saying it the best. Mascotology. I mean, we're kind of.
I feel like I'm getting dangerously close to Scientology, and that I'm going to end up getting letters in the mail, and you know, because I mean, maybe that's why my headphones are going out as I'm getting too close.
Are you freaking out the Illuminati?
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, maybe I'm getting too close to those trons.
Yeah, but
and
no, if they're a DTD loyalist, they know by now. Like, we blabber for a half hour before we get to what we're supposed to, so they know this.
That's why we're talking about Jason Kelsey. But let's get to item number 2, which is Russell Wilson, and
getting booted out of Denver.
Yeah, as our graphic says, it says, keep my team's name out your freaking mouth.
Yes.
Dude, they kicked him to the curb.
Oh,
man.
I saw it, and I was like, no freaking way they actually did this. And they did. Like, they just said, you're out of here. See ya. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God.
Dude, Sean Payton
yeah.
I did not realize, like, okay, they had Bountygate or whatever, you know, which was, remember, he got suspended for a year or 2 or something on that deal as well. Although you don't think about him with Bountygate now, but like, dude, this guy's a savage, man. Holy cow. He takes Russ, and by the way, they're eating I don't know, like 89 million in salary cap. Like I can't remember what the actual number is, but it's enormous. It's tremendous. They're just kicking him to the curb. And I think it's hilarious, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have been... I mean, he was a great quarterback. He was definitely top 10 in the league, but this was probably, I don't know, a few years ago now at this point when he was in Seattle and early in his career.
When he was winning the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right. And then almost winning a second one, except not handing it to Marshawn. But anyway, he's been a hot turd for the last 2 years.
His Denver Broncos experiment has been a train wreck start to finish.
It is one of the worst trades I have ever witnessed.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry. Not to get personal, but it has been a train wreck start to finish, dude. It has been, remember, because year 1 was let Russ cook, and Russ tried to cook, and he was burning water. He was terrible, dude. And they bring Sean Payton in, and the first thing he says before they even get started is like, this guy needs to stop kissing babies
and start playing football. Yeah. And then he does his weird workout routine on the plane.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's talking about,
he does this and then he does that. And it's like, dude,
he has just been,
get out of here.
He has been atrocious from the beginning. And where's he end up? Where does he end up?
I don't know. I think the leading theory is Pittsburgh.
I heard he was in Pittsburgh. I heard he was in Pittsburgh.
So Trubisky's back in Buffalo again.
Wait. So MVP Mitch was, holy cow, he's had a route of flight, man. He was in Chicago, right? Isn't that?
I think
is that where he started?
He was drafted in Chicago,
and then he went
to Buffalo.
Okay.
Then to Pittsburgh, and now he's back to Buffalo.
Pittsburgh, now back to Buffalo. Okay, so
he's going to back up Josh
Mitch
Allen again.
So they got rid of MVP Mitch in Pittsburgh, which is why Russ is in Pittsburgh, because they're saying that Kenny Pickett
is still there, but he's not there. And Mason Rudolph is a career backup.
He did pretty well.
I mean, I think, knowing Russ, I think that's probably the best place for him to go is Pittsburgh, because Mike Tomlin has a way of salvaging seasons somehow. And I mean, Russ is decent enough to keep that train going a little bit longer, I think. I think he's decent enough to keep it going, because we're saying he's trash, we're saying he's hot garbage, all that stuff. He's still in the NFL and one of the best athletes on the planet, and our big turds wouldn't be able to do anything.
Oh yeah. Like, I can't even walk across the living room without huffing and puffing, dude. Yeah. But
I think Pittsburgh is where he should go. That's my thought, is he should be in Pittsburgh.
I think he should land whoever will take him. He should land wherever they will take him. There is so much NFL news to talk about. And we could spend a whole show doing that, but that is not what this show is about. So let's move on, actually. Let's move on to our final little draft segment. Our
pre-topic segment.
Our pre-mascotology segment is about you get it, is about the combine. This dude, Xavier Worthy, ran a 4.2140, the fastest in combine history, correct?
Yeah, it was 4.22 for quite a few years. It got close. A fan allegedly beat it when they did like the 40-yard dash outside, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
This guy has officially beat it, and I think this dude runs 40 yards faster than my fat behind runs from the couch to the fridge.
Dude, he is moving. 4.21. That is so fast. Lord. That is so fast from a stop, from nothing.
That's like 1.05 seconds for 30 feet.
Dude,
that's 30 feet.
If you gave me a full sprint start, and I got to cross the line at full sprint, I wouldn't run a 4.2 anything. I probably wouldn't even get in the fours.
And he does it in a suit.
Yeah, but anyway, this dude was moving. 4.21. That is incredible. So heck with it. All right, there you go. We got our news out of the way. Should we get to our segment? Here's what we are to talk about tonight. Let's get to it. All right, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about Mascotology. Okay, there you go. Mascotology. So we have now you are the creator of this. I stole it from you in that I get to put it on the show and I'm excited about it. And so I thank you for allowing it to become a show. This is awesome.
Oh, I'm thankful that you took my idea and thought it was cool.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So why don't you tell us what this is? What is Mascotology? The graphic is up there of the mascots, the 5 mascots, six mascots,
whatever we decided to put on it. Yeah.
And tell us what this is. What is Mascotology?
Well, mascotology is the study of mascots. Actually, that's just crap. Anyway, it is an idea I've been thinking of for a while. The name came from you, but I was like, I did all the tournaments and all that fun stuff on my Instagram page, which you can see the logo for in the graphic on the top left. DTD.BigSkyCountry is that page. You can go give it a follow. That'd be awesome. But I thought of it. I've been doing polls, tournaments, like what had the best home uniform, what had the best alternate uniform, which had the best away uniform, all of that. And I'm like, what else can I do? I went, most teams have mascots. They're kind of cool. Let's do that. And I was like, this might be a half-baked idea. We'll see what happens. And I said it to you, and you were like, let's do it. And I went, cool. And then a year went by, and we hadn't done it yet. Until now, I finally had enough time. I could put it all together. Uh-oh. I see we went dark on your end. No!
Okay. Am I still here? Do you see me?
I'm looking over at the screen watching it, and I'm back now.
Everything good?
People in the comments, please. This is where we need you. I think we're good. I'm waiting for comments to come through. Come on.
You blinked off.
Okay, Wally says we're all back.
We're all back on.
Not again. No.
God dang it. Just as I think I got this thing figured out.
Shush. Don't say it. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. Don't. No. Okay. Anyway, the Mascotology thing was a mascot tournament to see what team has the best mascot, the long and short of it. We have them figured out. There are 28 mascots in the NFL, and I know you hear that and you're like, but Andrew, there's 32 teams in the NFL. What happened to 4 of them? 4 of them don't have mascots. And those are the Green Bay Packers, not that theirs would be any good anyway, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, and the Los Angeles, San Diego Chargers do not have a mascot. Those are the 4 teams that don't have mascots, but the rest of them, they have mascots. What do we think of them? We'll find out.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what it's about. So there are 28, you said, and
yes.
The way it broke out. So you've got to figure out,
building the bracket.
Yeah, building the bracket, the bracketology of it. The way it works out is we had to have basically 4 that got a first round bye. 4 teams got a first round bye.
Even and flow correctly, yes.
So what we did is because you are a computer whatever savvy person. See, yes, I can't, the fact that any of this works blows my mind. So when it blinks off like it just did, I have no idea why. Am I frying something? I've bought so much money's worth of equipment. God, I hope not. I hope this works because I'm having a blast doing this, but I have no idea why it works. I just plug all these things in and they keep working, and I hope they keep working. So when it blinks off, it scares the living crap out of me, and I can't figure out why it does it. So I hope the show sticks with us. So my headphones have stopped.
I think we're doing okay.
The thing blinked, whatever. One time, we're back. We've got Mascotology.
We just had to get through it.
So the way it worked out, we had to have 4 teams, 4 mascots that were taken out. So you put a wheel together.
Than a play-in game. Play-in games are stupid. So we might as well just give 4 first-round buys. The way we set it up, we wanted to keep, because our running theme, if you are not new here, you know what I'm about to say. If you are new here, our running theme on this show is the infamous asterisk, and liking to put an asterisk on things and saying, did you kind of try and cheat that in your favor? Because all of us like to win. We don't like to lose. So to keep the sanctity of randomness, don't even know if that's the right words to use, we put it on a wheel with all of the mascot names and teams on it. And we spun the wheel, and it determined our top 4, and we put it in the bracket, and we left it. You were my witness to that.
Yep.
You were on a call. We did that. We had our top 4 get selected, and then after those 4 were picked, which I think the wheel did a surprisingly good job with.
Yeah, it did. They...
it was ones I was okay with. I mean, if it would have given us one that we were like, oh my God, what is this? It would have been funny, but we couldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
And then after we had our 4, we went through 5 to 28, and we figured out the rest. And from that, yes, it was pretty much a pizza wheel. Pretty much a pizza wheel, Wally. Saw that comment come through. But after that, we have them set. We have round 1, which is everyone excluding our top 4 seeds. And all of this stuff that we talk about, we are not making these final decisions. Let's clarify that. This is going to be on my Instagram page, the DTD.BigSkyCountry, as a poll tournament. We are going to go through the matchups, and then the polls will be on Instagram for you to vote on later this weekend. But right now, we are just talking through what we want, what we think would happen. If you are a fan of the New Heights podcast, they did this with the best team name, of which the Vikings won.
Yes.
But we are doing in the vein of that. We are saying who we think would move on if we were to control it. But all of this is from you, our viewers, and our fans.
Yes. It's all going to be determined via poll on Instagram. You get it. So let's move on. Okay. We're 45 minutes into the show already, and we haven't even got to the teams that are basically getting the first round bye. So let's do it.
Yes.
Let's hit it.
Let's do it.
The first one up, the first one, number one seed. I don't know.
Our number one
Is
seed.
Blue, which is the Colts mascot. And this is perhaps the most well-known mascot that is out there. I think
because he terrorizes children.
He has an Instagram. I think it's a he. This mascot has an Instagram and pies people in the face, is probably the most Instagram worthy, the most active mascot of them all. NFL teams are becoming very aware of the fact that social media is a huge realm that they can explore. And so some teams are taking advantage of things like the schedule release, which is outstanding every year. The Chargers seem to win that every year.
Great job at that.
They do an amazing job with it. Well, these guys, in terms of mascot, Blue and the Colts, they win mascots if there is such a thing. Mascot social media.
Yes.
Yeah. So they got the number one seed. The number 2 seed is Chomps, the Browns mascot. Now, I don't know if they're changing this, but I like that mascot. I kind of think that's a pretty cool mascot.
I mean, Chomps, I think, is their main one, especially since their secondary logo, as you can see on the graphic, is the dog. Because there's the dog pound, there's a dog fight, all of that. He's our number 2. Thank God they didn't go with Brownie the Elf, because then Brownie the Elf would just get bullied.
Yeah.
But I think Chomps, this is solid. I'm not going to go into my full thoughts on how I think this one will do because he's not up yet.
Yep.
He gets to sit back. We'll talk about that when we do a round 2 show, which should be next week.
But I like it. I mean, this is another in terms of now I have my
should we talk about our mascot definitions when we get to the main matchups? Or should we cover it now?
Maybe if it comes out, let's let it come out organically, if that's the right word for it. kind of our thoughts on our ideology. There you go. On what mascots should be. Chomps fits my basic ideology. Let's just put it at that. This is a good mascot in terms of, is it good? Is it bad? I'd say this is a good mascot. Number 3, though, this is where the asterisks would come in, should come in, could come in, but maybe you should tell us, should it come in? Is this legitimate? Victor the Viking shows up, your team. If you haven't figured it out via the shirt, via the banner that's over your head, via the jersey that's over your head, you are a Viking fan. We have a Viking contingent in the crowd that is the comments. A ton of Vikings fans in the comments. So Victor the Viking is one of the 4. How did this happen? Is it real? Tell us about this. Is it legitimate?
This was random. This was legitimate. I am glad that the wheel listened to my black magic and picked the right one to be in the top 4.
Yeah,
you can give me an asterisk if you want. I don't care. I will wear it with pride on this one. But if this were this is my personal favorite because duh. But like, he fits what a mascot should be, in my opinion. We will talk about ideologies in a second. But yes, this is a legit. He was number 3. You were my witness. We saw it.
Yeah,
I did a little happy dance. If the internet would have saw it, they would have made fun of me. But
whatever. To be quite honest with you, you know what? If your mascot sucked, then I would say put an asterisk next to it, because it would be like, yeah, come on, haha, your mascot shows up, but this is a good mascot. Like, I mean, there's some mascots, and we'll see them today that suck, that are as long as your show holds together, which my headphones keep wigging out. We'll see what happens.
Why are you saying this is where the asterisk gets pulled out? This is your team too.
Yeah, this is everybody's team. I'm happy that this mascot is out there. It deserves to be out there. It should be one of the top 4. If there was an actual seeding, I would put this within the top 4, I think. It's a good mascot. And then the 4th one is actually debuted in 2010. So a new mascot is the LA Rams Rampage. I guess they redid it whenever they moved to LA.
They've updated him at least. I think Rampage, they were in St. Louis in 2010. I think they definitely were. I think they moved in like 16 back to LA. But they brought out the new wave of mascots. You'll see on this debuted graphic a lot. There's a lot of older ones and a lot of like 07 to like 13. There's a lot of newer ones and a lot of older ones. So they definitely came in waves as far as when mascots were debuted. And I think this is another one, looking at the uniform they used for them, the blue, the yellow. We talked about uniforms, all of that stuff. This one looks solid. This one's awesome. The colors pop. It all matches. It has the elements that I will mention later. I think this one works, and I think this one, I wouldn't have been mad if it wasn't top 4. I wouldn't have been mad if it was top 4, because it is. It's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, that's solid. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it's a solid one. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about any of the top 4, to be quite honest with you.
No, I'm not either.
I'm pretty happy with how that ended up. Now, as far as how some of the rest of these worked out, I think some of these guys kind of, some of them will benefit from it in that they will actually survive the first round, whereas they may not have otherwise. And then there's some where I think, from what I recall,
they have an earlier exit that they
somebody's going to get an exit where it would have been like, had we not randomly seeded this, they probably would have.
It could have made a run.
Existed.
There's some that could have done that.
Yeah, but and we'll get there because we're going to cover them all today. That said, you and I originally tried recording this as a episode, and we were going to air it a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember when. But then, I'm not very computer savvy. And so bottom line is I couldn't get it to work. So I said, let's do it live anyway. And
I think it's better. We get crowd participation. Our thoughts could have changed since we pre-recorded it. Looking at them again. So I think this was a good break and coming back to it now.
yeah.
Now that we have our top 4 out of the way, shall we move into our number 5 in their matchup?
Yeah,
and
number
while you
5.
get that done, I can maybe talk about what my ideology of a mascot is.
Sure. So how do you want to do it? You want to talk about your ideology, or do you want me to tell you what number 5 versus 28 is, or what? How do you want to do it?
Let's introduce our matchup and then we'll go into it, because I think
right.
this matchup here does it well.
Okay, well, number
5
5 versus number 28 is the first matchup of the day. Number 5, again, these were all randomly assigned. We'll probably say it 100 more times, but you get it. Number 5 is Captain Fear, which is the mascot of the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it will go against Billy Buffalo, number 28, which is the Buffalo Bills. Duh. Anyway, go ahead. It's all yours.
Yeah, I think this is a cool matchup. I think this hits a lot of the boxes that I will refer back to later. To start it out now, I think a mascot needs to have some form of realism, but also a cartoon or animated quality. I think if a mascot looks too real, it gets weird, it gets creepy. If it looks too cartoony or too animated, it's not taken seriously enough. Especially when we're playing the game of football. You need to have a little bit of grit. You need to have a little bit of whatever. But mascots are also their fan appeal, their family appeal. They bring in the kids. They bring in the younger audiences and make them want to stay there. Because I've seen adults that are like, yeah, the mascots are cool. Let's get a picture. But I have never not seen a kid go, oh my God, it's the mascot. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Unless they're absolutely terrified of it. But that's when it goes the other way. So the mascots are a big buy-in. So I think they need to have some sort of realism, but cartoony effect enough that they check the family box.
Sure.
That's my belief. What's yours on
here's
mascots
here's
before
the
we
way
really break this down?
And you know, this kind of just came to me just now. I would think of it in terms of kind of like a Disney movie. Disney does a fantastic job, or at least they had in the past. I can't remember from all the movies that I can remember. Even though they're built for kids or whatever, there's still an adult
Yes, I like that.
element to it that you know the adult enjoys them as well. And so that's the way I think I would look at it. In that, you know, it's kind of built for kids and that it's got to be fake-ish. But, you know, as the adult in the room, I want to be able to look over at the mascot and be like, yeah, that's my mascot, you know, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Now, some of these teams, by virtue of the fact that you know, the team name, whatever, some of them are kind of screwed from the start. But there's some that
think are screwed and do really, really well with it.
Yeah, you know,
So
and
I think it just comes down to their teams.
Yeah, the general consensus I would say is built for kids, entertaining for adults, and I don't mean that in a weirdo way. You get it.
Yes.
Anyway,
what are your thoughts on our first matchup?
So
here, though?
first
Captain
matchup,
Fear.
I would say Billy the Buffalo is a little too kid friendly. I think I would have maybe gone a little more aggressive with it. You know, they could have gone to where it doesn't have to be scary, but I think that is a little too touchy-feely for me. He's a little too meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Do we have the close-up graphic? So we can look
yeah,
at it a little
you know
more in
what?
detail?
Actually, I should.
So I think I sent it to you.
You did. So let's start with we'll go the way the graphics are. Let's start with number 5. Captain Fear himself is, for what it has to be, I think is a decent job. It's, you know, you know, you don't,
Yeah.
they could have made it super scary. to where the kids would have been freaked out anytime, and that would have, gone against kind of our philosophy for mascots. I think with what they had to work with, they did a decent job. Could it be better? But it could it be worse? Definitely.
I think, this one is a weird one. Looking at him, he kind of toes the line a little bit in my head of the build is right. Like, he looks cartoony, he looks big, he looks buff, but at the same time, there's something about his face that's just kind of off to me.
Yeah.
And it looks where it might be a little off-putting to kids, or they absolutely love him. It's not like he's fine. It's he freaks the hell out of me, or he's great. I think it's with like a little kid. He kind of
weirds me out. He kind of weirds me out a little bit.
He's not bad, though. I think he's a solid mascot, especially for Tampa, when they just go full bore into the pirate theme. Like, they have the ship, they have the cannons. He's a great addition to that. So I'm not discounting it there.
Yeah, I think he's all right. I give him, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably put him at a 5 or 5.5. He's not really great. I'd put Billy the Buffalo, though, as kind of probably a 3. I don't know. He's not too great. Let's take a look at him. Let me pull up. Sorry about it. I'm not used to this.
Good.
Let me pull up the graphic of him. He's just a little too soft for me. I don't know. I'm not, in terms of this matchup, I would give this to Captain Fear. Neither of these are my favorite mascot, to be quite honest with you, but I think I'd give this one to Captain Fear. What do you think?
Neither of these are my favorite either. I honestly lean the other way with it. I like Billy Buffalo because he kind of, like I was saying with that kid appeal, he hits that. He's big. He looks happy to be there. I would maybe make a tweak and make him look a little bit meaner. The old Billy Buffalo, before they redesigned him, definitely hit the meaner look. But I like this one. I'm not put off by it. Like, I looked at Captain Fear and I'm like, oh, your face is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I look at Billy Buffalo and I don't see that. So I would give the edge to Billy Buffalo. People in the comments, as we're talking about this, please let us know your thoughts. Even if there's only a couple of you out there still, we want to know, what do you think? Because you might be a deciding vote on the polls later. We want to know what you think. We want to have some fan interaction. Tell us what you think and why.
Yep.
We'll take momentary breaks. We'll stop. We'll read it. We are going to run through 24 matchups tonight, so it might be a while, but we will take a glance once in a while.
12 matchups.
I would give it to. I would give
24
it to
teams.
Oh yeah, 12 matchups, 24 teams. I would give it.
Wally
to Billy
gives
Buffalo.
it to the Buffalo.
That's my opinion.
And to be quite honest, either of these is really a great one. So whatever, it could go either way for me. Moving on.
So whatever.
Moving on, because I have more to say about this next matchup. Is number 6 versus number 27. Number 6 is TD, the Dolphin mascot, which I have thoughts about him versus, that kind of has a
we forgot
duo.
to preface this one.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this.
You tell us about this. This is Gumbo and Sir Saint. Why are there 2 mascots here?
I forgot to mention this. When we had our pre-recording, I thought about it. There are 28 mascots, but technically there's 29 because New Orleans, for some reason, gets 2. I don't know why, but I think looking at these ones, one saves the other one pretty easily. They get 2 because you think about it, when you hear Saint, yes, there's the Saints in thinking the New Orleans side of it, talking about all of that. There's that definition. And there's Saint, like your Saint you have in your house, a Saint Bernard being the dog. So you have a Gumbo, actually. And I'll just hop into it saying this. I think Gumbo saves the pair.
Well, let's do it. Let's go. Sorry, nope,
you're good.
Just as the guide for today's show, or this the cruise director, as we say. Let's go via the ranking. So let's actually,
Okay.
when we evaluate them,
Go from high to low. Okay,
now
we
you've
can
kind
do
of
that.
said why there's a double there, or the fact that there's at least a double. But yeah, let's go via the ranking. So number 6 is actually TD, the mascot for the Dolphins. What do you have to say first? What's your evaluation of that one?
He hits the cartoon vibe, and the head and the face, I think, is cool. The helmet's a little weird, and then the rest of it kind of falls apart for me. I think the mascot head is the best part of TD. Otherwise, it kind of, he looks flabby.
Yeah. Not
It's so,
I think they missed on this one. I think they could have really put a lot more effort into this. This deserves a redesign. And let me just say the fact that, yes, it's a dolphin, and the dolphin for appendages does have flippers. It's a mascot, folks. We don't have to stick with the anatomy of the actual animal of which the team represents. So in this case, a dolphin, and thus the fin, the flipper, whatever. We can use a hand, okay? Let's go ahead and redesign this one. I think this one's a miss. I think this one's a lazy in terms of mascot evaluation.
Right.
I am not a fan of this one. That is my thought. That is my thought.
I agree.
Should we move to, do you have any more before we move to Gumbo as far as the evaluation, and then we can give our thoughts on who we think?
All I would do is the thing I have here is what I would do to change it. I would make him muscly, like any other animal-based mascot. Make him look muscly, make him look ripped, make him have the hands with the fingers, and then maybe put like a fin on the back of his, like the upper arm, or on the back of his forearm, to where it kind of looks like, you know how Batman has the spikes on his glove, kind of look like that, and get the flipper effect. But not having hands looks kind of dumb.
Yep.
And yeah, I agree. He's kind of a miss here. I like the
completely
cartoony,
agree.
but the rest of it is out for me.
I think we will see kind of the vibe of what you're talking about right here later on with some of the other mascots, and I completely agree with what you're saying. Although now nobody has what we're talking about for a frame of reference. You'll see it specifically when I think we talk about
a lot of the bird ones. I think
the
do
bird
this well.
ones. Yeah. Specifically the Seahawks one.
Yes, we'll
I
get
would
to him in a
agree
minute.
in terms of TD, what they should do, but I think they definitely missed. So let's get on to the double Gumbo and Sir Saint. Let me start with this one.
Yep, go ahead.
I think the Sir Saint thing is weird. I think let's go ahead and pick a mascot. Although I kind of see what they were doing with both, they kind of went with let's go towards the kids. I think with the dog one, which, okay, Saint Bernard, that kind of tugs at my heartstrings. We saw the Saint Bernard earlier, but the Sir Saint, then they're going with the vibe like you were talking about. You started about with the whole New Orleans, the Catholic, I think the vibe sort of thing. I think that's at least where the Saint comes from. I think that's where it comes from. Forgive me if
I think so,
comes from something
I
else.
don't know either. So.
But they're kind of like, it's like pick one or the other and just go with it. You know, I mean, but this is one of those, they're kind of a victim of the fact that they're the Saints. What do you do with that? You know? What do you do with it? You know?
Right. And I think looking at it now, and again, I've seen these a lot, but I'm honestly trying to put any prior thought out of my head and evaluating them as clean as I can. Even though I built all of these, I've seen these a ton. I'm still trying to do it as non-biased as possible. Now that we're out of the top 4. And Sir Saint looks like Quagmire off a Family Guy.
There's something weird about him, man.
His chin is too big.
Well, yeah, and I
like
do
the
appreciate
idea.
what they're doing there, but yeah, he's just weird.
I like the idea of the football helmet, and I could see it working. Let's just say they scrapped Sir Saint and went with just Gumbo.
Yep.
I like Gumbo the way it sits. It's a nice cartoony looking dog. The colors are nice. They have that well. I like Gumbo as is. If I were to improve Gumbo, I would make his face look a little more like Chomp's. I would put the helmet on Gumbo's head, and I would give it a face mask, or at least the single bar around the front.
Yeah.
So you still had a bit of both. I think, like I said it already, Gumbo saves this duo because they're going against someone as bad as TD.
Yep. I would agree. And going back to the matchup slide, let me fade it back over. But yeah, I would say for the Saints, pick a mascot, pick one or the other. And I agree. I think, you know what, go with the Saint Bernard. I'm a sucker for it, and put the helmet on him, whatever. But I'm not mad about the other guy either. He is weird. He does look like Quagmire or whatever, but you know, if that's what you want to go with it. But don't do the two thing. Pick one. Let's do it. It's a face ass, says you.
Says me.
Very nice. And that's exactly what that is. I mean, look at that thing. Anyway. But yeah, this is one where, hey, you know what? They lucked out in the fact that they pulled the Dolphins mascot, which is a total miss, as their matchup in round one. So whereas both of these teams should be, these should both be eliminated, but whatever. They're not. So, whatever.
We could totally get this wrong, too. Our viewers could love TD, and we are just curmudgeons. We'll have to see. I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
And you know what? How are you going to do this? Are you going to do like one a day? Or are you going to do several a day?
I'm going to, there's 12 here, and I don't want to overload Instagram because it gets mad at me. I'm going to try and do maybe like 6 one day and 6 another, and keep it in a weekend window is my thought.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to try and do.
Ooh, man, that's a lot. 6 in a day.
It's a lot, but it's a lot, but I don't really know how else to do it.
You could do 2 weeks of matchups.
Schedule.
But then what do we talk about? We'll talk about it later.
It's trying to balance the schedule. We'll get it working.
So, okay, let's talk about our next matchup. It's number 7 versus 26. This is these are better mascots. Although one of them, we'll talk about it. So the next one is 7 versus 26. 7 being Jackson DeVille, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot. And number 26 being Blitz, which is the Seahawks mascot. So do you want to talk about these guys? Go ahead, start us off.
Yeah, let's do it. So we'll start in our order. Number 7, Jackson DeVille is the first one where, if you've noticed how I stopped and slowed down, this is the one where I just start to take a deep breath before I have to talk about it, because I found the most family-friendly picture of Jackson DeVille for these graphics, because Jackson DeVille otherwise is that head on a dude's body in a Speedo when that guy is painted yellow.
Yes.
It's weird as hell.
It is bizarre. Yes. And I put up the Jackson DeVille one.
I mean,
the actual
DeVille,
look it up yourself.
Hell of a showman.
Google
hell
it.
Of a showman.
You know, they've gone rogue kind of with the mascot. they went way rogue with the mascot.
I mean,
but nonetheless, I don't think this one's going to last very long because of the fact that
he's going against
Blitz, which is
love this one.
Yes, I think, and I've got the graphic up for it. This is a freaking mascot right here.
Yes,
and we were just talking about it. This is
cool.
We're talking about the flipper with the arm and the whatever. This is kind of what you were talking about. He's got it looks kind of still like a person arm. but it has the wing coming down from his, underneath his arm, his tricep.
Yeah,
area.
exactly.
So go ahead, tell us about Blitz here. But I personally, this is my favorite mascot. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean,
This
being
one's up there for
non-biased, and you know what? I don't have to be biased because of the fact that the Chargers don't have a
one.
mascot. So I don't have a bone in this, and you get it, whatever.
I don't even know
this
what
is
the
my
Chargers would
favorite
do, but
one.
that's
I
another
like
show.
this
That's
one.
another show.
I
really like this one. Blitz is really cool because it's the cartoon factor, it's the cool factor. I can't stand watching the Seahawks wear their bright neon green and highlighter green when it's all of it. This is a perfect touch of highlighter green. It has the underarm with the wings around the numbers like the uniform. That looks great. Another thing that I think Blitz has an advantage of over some of the other ones we'll talk about, if you look at his head, that's the logo. That is the Seahawks logo if it was looking straight at you.
Yep.
They copied it almost perfectly. And it has the hands, he has fingers, he can point at people, but he still has the wings, so it still looks like a bird. And yeah, I'm sure he still has bird feet and all that stuff, so it still completes the look, but he has fingers.
Yep.
He actually can do something.
That's a mascot. 100%. This is the best mascot I've
Blitz
seen.
gets upset, I am going to be shocked. It's going to be like March Madness. That actually works in the next couple weeks. But it will be March Madness with a giant upset if Blitz loses.
Yeah.
I cannot see this happening.
Yeah.
The comments are saying Blitz all the way. I agree. Blitz wins.
Yeah.
Next one,
Easy.
please. That's my thought.
Next, whatever. I agree as well. In Jackson DeVille, we don't even need to see the pictures of what he really is. He's just disturbing, is what it is. But
we don't want to frighten children.
Yeah,
with that.
But Blitz is the best mascot there is that I've seen of everything, including the Vikings, which I like the Vikings mascot.
Yeah. He's really cool.
Excuse me. Sorry. So, good golly. I'm just burping up
Our
a
next
storm.
matchup should be number 8? No. Yes. I hear no. No.
Dude, I have no idea how any of this is working.
Okay, it's still on the screen. I'm still seeing it. We're going with it. Yeah, I'm not even that. Our next matchup is number 8 versus number 25.
You remember that fancy thing I was showing you?
No.
I think I fried it.
Oh, hell.
With all my power. And the screen's not working anymore.
Our screens are still working, so we're rolling.
Yeah, it still works.
Right.
Did I really fry it? I think I did.
As you can see, we are a A1 show here.
So number 8 versus number 25. Moving on.
Yes.
Let me hit the like button like I told everybody to do.
This is the one where we start to get into, and I think this is the next couple matchups, we start to get into our humans. And this is where I have another point of contention, is talking about our humans. Humans should not scare children. They should be cartoony, but they should still look real. And I think this is a good one with going into our number 8 with Steely McBeam. Dave, if you're still in the comments, have fun. Steely McBeam for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like this guy, looking at him.
Yeah.
He's a working man in Pittsburgh. This is an example of one where it's like, well, what else can you do? And I think they did the best they could with what they had, and it turned out not bad. That's my opinion. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I agree as well. Stealing me McBeam for what they had to work with. I mean, it's a steel worker, that's what they got him, they did a good job. This is cartoony enough. He's still, he's hardcore. He's still got the jawline. He's still a steel worker. He's not doing the uniform thing. Although you could put him in the uniform if you want to and go that route.
Yeah.
I like the Steely. I like the look of it.
I like the working man.
I
think
it.
this next one that we talk about and the next one, the matchups after it, gets into another thing with the humans. Putting him in a football uniform is very hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to switch to our next one.
So the next one is Rowdy. And actually your mom immediately went, boom, Rowdy. Give her Rowdy. She went Rowdy. I don't know, man. Rowdy, I'm not a fan of. Go ahead, though.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's tough on this one because it hits the cartoony. It is a person. I like that. I like the cowboy. The cowboy is such a good mascot that you can pull from and do so much with. Unfortunately, I think a team that we will talk about later does this better than the Cowboys do, and we'll talk about it. But looking at his face, again, this is one of those things where it's like, we're going to look at his face. There's something about your face that's just weird. He looks like Lucky from Lucky Charms trying to dress up as a cowboy, and it's just weird to me. And putting him in a football uniform, I understand. He's trying to get the crowd hyped. He looks yoked. He looks like he's going to be like, it's just going to be awesome. But he's a cowboy. I think you should have put this mascot in an outfit similar to, but not obviously not the exact same outfit, because that could have turned into another Jackson DeVille when you get where I'm going with this. But put him in an outfit that looks similar to the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, with the button-up shirt and a vest, and give him some gloves and like some fringe or something to look like a cowboy, like a cowboy cartoon. I don't like this. There's something about it that just really I don't like.
Yeah, he's a leprechaun. He's a leprechaun in a cowboy NFL outfit. He's weird. I don't like Rowdy. I don't like him. Now, even Walbert says Rowdy by a slim margin. But I'm not a fan of Rowdy. I think he creeps me out. The like you're saying, Lucky Charms. Yeah, he's a leprechaun. He's a leprechaun. He's weird. I don't know. I like Steely McBeam better.
I do too. That's my personal one.
Yeah, looking at both of them, there's just something that's off about Rowdy. There's something. I mean, he's perfect for the Cowboys. You know, there's just something that's wrong about him.
With a first-round exit?
Yeah, there's just something that's wrong about him. Which, by the way, speaking of first-round exit, Wally says, go with the first 6 matchups and continue with the next 6 on another show. That's not a bad idea, actually, because we are...
It's not a bad idea.
We are an hour and a half in.
Have we hit all our 6?
We have hit... the first 6. We've hit the first 3 matchups, first 6 teams.
We hit 5, 6, 7, 8. We've hit 4, so we've got 2 more. I like that idea. I think that'll help us pace it out pretty well too.
So we've hit 4, yeah. So
yep. So we need 9 and 10, and then I think we could put a bow on it for this episode. Sure. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So there you go. There's Steely and Rowdy. So we're doing 9, 24, and 10 and 23. So 9 and 24. Let's do that one. Okay. So
yes.
Moving on. 9, 24. You've got Sourdough Sam pulls the 9 spot. Pat Patriot pulls the 24 spot. Tell us about these 2 real quick, and then we'll get to each of them individually.
Yes. I wish Bully was in here for this one. I really do, because I would have loved to have heard his thoughts. This is the second one of the Battle of the Humans. So we're going to have our humans out pretty quick, and it's going to get interesting. I think this is a cool matchup from 2 very successful teams and 2 very notable mascots. If we wanted to go with our number 9 first with Sourdough Sam, if you wanted to do the awesome smooth transition, so it looks like we do this professionally.
There you go.
Looking at him, I just said this. This is the Cowboys done better than the Cowboys. it's the San Francisco 49ers. What do you really have to do? Well, the team is named the 49ers. It's mining. He's a miner. He's a prospector. 1849 in the Wild West at the same time. This is the Cowboys better than the Cowboys. You got the beard. You got the prospector hat. This dude looks bulky. He looks like he could just beat you up, but he looks like a hardworking man who loves his job. He looks like he's friendly. I mean, this guy, and I think his boots are actually kind of like work boots or cowboy boots too. You can't see it with the name there, but this is what the Cowboys should have done. And I think the Niners pull it off so much better, also because they have better colors than the Cowboys do. That red and gold is much better than the blue and the weird teal, greenish, gray thing the Cowboys have.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I like Sourdough Sam. I like him. I do. And actually, looking at him, Look, I agree completely with what you said there. And there's Bailey as well. Bailey came back. Hi, B. Hi, Pop. What are you doing? Oh, hi. She's trying to push me away. Hi. Yes, I love you.
Hi, B.
Hi. Yes, you're my favorite. You're my favorite St. Bernard. You could stay right there. Okay. Anyway, Sourdough Sam. Yeah, he's good. The Pat Patriot. This goes into the he's a little bit on the scary side.
I think so.
You were talking about we were talking about with the Buffalo. The Buffalo should have been a little bit scarier. But then you've got to be, you don't want to go too scary because you've got to have the kid-friendly version. Well, Pat Patriot goes too scary, in my opinion. He looks a little psycho.
Again, I would love to hear Bully's comments on this. So, Bully, if you're watching this later, please let us know what you think. I want to know what you think about this guy. But I think, again, it comes down to the face. I think they did the gloves with the flag gauntlet and stuff on it with him. I love that. I love that they're trying to invoke the logo with the flag behind his hat, and he looks like the Patriot. He looks like the flag man, like you'd see. I think his face should have been like Steely McBeam, where it was more of a chiseled face.
Yeah.
And you can still do the big chin. You can still do that, and it works good. But this guy kind of looks doughy. Is what based off this picture, he looks kind of doughy.
Yeah, he's got
he's going against Sourdough Sam, and he looks doughy.
He's got the mashed potato face.
That's it.
Yeah. So okay, we've got they're saying Sourdough Sam is definite winner on these two. Let me put that.
I agree. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I'd put
Sourdough Sam definitely wins.
I think he can make a pretty good run and be like the last human standing in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Sourdough Sam and Steely McBeam, I think, would be a good matchup.
And I think it might be the matchup that happens after this if it does that. I have to look at the bracket again.
Yeah, we'll have
but
to
it
see.
might be what it is.
So actually, okay, our last matchup for the day is actually a good one. Number 10.
I like this one.
The Miles, which is the mascot for Denver, for the whatever the heck that team is. Russell Wilson's old team.
Yeah, his old team.
The Broncos versus Major Tutty, which is the former Redskins, but playing
former football team, but now the Commanders.
Yeah,
might not be because I thought they were getting sued,
but still playing with the pig. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like this matchup. I like both these guys. Anyway, you go ahead. So 10-23 Miles versus a Major Tutty.
Yeah, looking at number 10 for Miles, this is the other contingent of the DTD realm with Bo and Uncle Chris being the first colonel for our show. This is one where the animation and cartoony looks good. And again, he has fingers. He could have easily had hooves, and they might have missed it there. I think the face is trying to do what like Blitz does with the Seahawk logo, and it's trying to look like the logo, but they knew when to pull back. They knew when to pull back on the reins if we're going to do the horse.
Oh, there you go.
They knew when to do that, because I think if you would have done the logo perfectly, it would have come across creepy and too scary. I think they gave him just the big enough features. The orange is really, really bright. It pops out. I like it. I think Miles is really well built. This one is one of the older ones in 1999. I'm sure they've done some updates to him, but I think this has been kind of the core image since then. So this one is actually, I really do like this one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this one as well. I think they did a good job of, you've got hands on it, instead of hooves. They did it. The Broncos have got naturally a good palate to work with, if you will, in that they're a horse. Yeah, well, good God. So much could be said, but I like this. I like that mascot.
I really do too.
I think that's a good one. And this is a tough matchup for round one, because
it is.
Both these teams, talking now about Major Tuddy, this is another great mascot. And this is what we were talking about with some of them got, tough luck of the draw. Well, both of these deserve to go to the next round. Both these deserve to move on and should be beating teams like the Dolphins and the Saints. And
ones we will talk about next week, because we're going to get into some doozies next week.
Yeah.
Now that we're cutting this one a little short.
Oh, dear Lord, yes.
This one, I know you can't see it in the graphic, but this is the one where I just said, if Miles had hooves, they might have fumbled it. This one does. Major Tuddy does have hooves, as pigs do with the toes and everything, and it kind of looks like the Ninja Turtle hand or whatever.
Yeah.
He has this, but it still works. And also, this is the new kid on the block. This is the newest mascot that could have been around versus one of the oldest ones. So this is kind of cool in the matchup here. Again, say what you will about the commander's name, whatever. I like the battle helmet because the military in Washington, D.C., I love that pull. They embraced the Hoggies mentality of the offensive line of when the Redskins at that time were dominant and the offensive line would just beat you up. They brought in that factor. I like that. As a former offensive lineman, every time we would break for water in practice at high school, we would be like, Hoggies on 3, not even realizing we were referencing them. I really like this one. I'm going to be sad to see if this one leaves. If I had to pick one, I would actually go Major Tuddy over Miles. Just because this one looks so cool.
The comments are saying Tuddy as well. And I agree. Tuddy gets it over Miles. I think this is tough. Both of those deserve, like I said, to be in the next round. Tuddy is great, even though it debuted in 2023 and is the Commanders' official mascot. It still harkens back, however you say it.
I think it's harkens.
Yeah, back to, the old Redskins, because they had the pig mascot's always been there, which I think, if you're going to talk about Redskins and then the pig mascot and all that, the pig mascot is probably actually the more offensive thing of the two things.
But they didn't care.
But the pig mascot moves on. But the Redskins.
And that's one thing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Anyway,
one thing about this one too. When I first saw this one was released, I did not know what to think about this guy. I thought it was weird. I was like, "What is this? Why did they pick that?" This one has definitely grown on me, to where I like this one a lot now. Again, it's gonna suck when this matchup goes up this weekend, because someone has to bite the bullet, and I don't know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. So, Yeah. Anyway, I agree. That being said, that is the of the matchups. That's
Those are
final.
our first 6 of round 1. So this show is technically Mascotology or Mascotology round 1, part 1. These are the mascots and the matchups that will go up this weekend on dtd.bigskycountry Instagram. Please be sure to vote on those. Spread the word to people. If you have 2 accounts, vote twice. I don't care. This one's going to be fun. I'm excited that we finally got this going. And now that we do, and I think it was a good idea to split them in 2. So thank you, Wally, for doing that for management's sake. This gives us some content. I think this has some legs. This is going to last us quite a few weeks in the off season, and it's something for people to look forward to. I enjoy it a lot.
I agree. I think it's great. I think great call as well on the doing the halfway thing, because yeah, we're already at an hour and a half. And I've got our socials up there, so take a screen grab if you want, and then you'll have our socials, and that will put you where the well, let's do this. Where the what do you call those things? The polls happen anyway.
Yes,
But jeez.
Yes, this will be where the polls are on mine. You can see it's the bottom logo. It's the angry Donald Duck looking one. Go there. Josh will probably have stuff posted on yours, but the official results come from mine. So look forward to that. I'm excited to see what the results are. I'm excited to get started on this. I want to do it as soon as we get off the phone, but I probably should eat something.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, and then
this
I
has
gotta.
been fun. I'm glad we got to do this.
I gotta tell you what I just realized as well. So, but I'll tell you that after the show. But anyway, you get it. You guys, we appreciate you. We love y'all. You guys are absolutely awesome. Until the next time, we are us. We are DTD. We are the dudes. We are the whatevers. Yeah, let's get the heck out of here, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.